before there were hearts, thumbs, and followers, before the dopamine rush of a like-to-find-out digital warfare internet. Had a very different way of measuring popularity. It was a world without instant validation, where online fame wasn't about emojis or metrics on your phone screen, but about something deeper, slower, and surprisingly creative. This is the forgotten story of how the internet learned to measure human attention long before the like button changed everything. In the 1980s and early 1990s, when the internet was still an obscure playground for academics and enthusiasts, there were no profiles, no influencers, and certainly no social feeds. Instead, online interaction happened on bulletin board systems. These were text-based communities where users dialed in through modems to post messages, share files, and debate ideas. Popularity wasn't measured by numbers, it was measured by reputation. A respected user wasn't someone with likes or followers, but someone whose posts sparked responses, whose uploads got shared, and whose name was whispered across message threads. On early BBS forums, users earned prestige through contributions, sharing useful code, answering questions, or moderating discussions. The more you gave, the more respect you earned. It was a meritocracy of information, not image. If someone quoted your post, it meant you were being heard. If people replied to you with enthusiasm or gratitude, it was the primitive version of going viral. The internet's first popularity contests were built on text and trust. As the web expanded in the mid-1990s, the first personal homepages began to appear on platforms like GeoCities and Angels. These were handcrafted websites, designed in bright colors, blinking GIFs, and clunky HTML. Back then, being popular online meant one thing. Site owners would proudly display a visitor counter at the bottom of their page. Each new click added a number, ticking upward like a public scoreboard. Some even bragged about their hit counts on web rings and forums. It was the first digital ego booster, precursor to social media validation. But raw numbers weren't enough. In the early 2000s, as blogging exploded, a new form of digital status emerged. The comment section. Bloggers measured influence, not just by visitors, but by the number of people who cared enough to comment. A post with 50 thoughtful replies meant you were shaping conversations. Bloggers often engaged in long discussions with readers. And blog rolls, lists of favorite or recommended blogs, became a way to signal affiliation and admiration. If your site appeared on multiple blog rolls, you weren't just popular, you were part of the internet's inner circle. At the same time, the early social web was forming. Platforms like Friendster, MySpace, and LiveJournal introduced digital friendship as a quantifiable asset. Suddenly, popularity was visible again, not through likes, but through friend counts. Having 500 MySpace friends wasn't just a number, it was a badge of honor. People curated their top 8 friends carefully, sparking drama and pride. Your profile layout, your background music, your comment, voila, became part of your personal brand. It was the dawn of online persona culture, driven not by algorithms, but by human connection and creativity. Email and instant messaging also played subtle roles in early digital validation. Chain letters that promised good luck if you forwarded them weren't just superstition, they were viral content before virality had a name. The more people responded to your forwarded jokes, photos, or memes, the more you felt seen online. Popularity in the digital underground wasn't about mass attention. It was about engagement in tight-knit circles. Meanwhile, in professional corners of the web, platforms like Slashdot and Reddit's predecessors were experimenting with community-based voting long before Facebook or Instagram existed. Slashdot introduced comma points, where users could upvote insightful comments or downvote irrelevant ones. It was a digital reputation systematically gamified approval. For many techies, earning karma was addictive. It wasn't about friends or fame, it was about respect within a knowledge-driven hierarchy. These were the first glimmers of quantifiable social credibility online. By the mid-2000s, a new kind of measurement reshaped the internet. The hyperlink. Google's PageRank algorithm determined a website's importance based on how many other sites linked to it. Each link acted like a vote of confidence. This system didn't just rank websites, it created an economy of attention. Being popular online suddenly meant being referenced. Bloggers and website owners chased backlinks optimizing keywords and content to climb search results. In essence, PageRank turned popularity into math-code, algorithmic version of social proof that would later inspire how social media quantified influence. Then came YouTube 2005, where popularity became visual. The metric of validation was no longer words or links, it was views. A video with millions of views became a cultural event. Subscribers emerged as loyal fans, and the 5-star rating system allowed the audience to judge quality. Before the like and dislike buttons simplified things, every viewer became a critic. Creators lived by the stars, obsessing over fractions of approval. Meanwhile, Dig and Reddit popularized the no-familiar voting systems, turning the crowd into curators. Articles and memes rose or fell based on collective agreement-y democracy of attention. The higher your post climbed, the more digital prestige you earned. It wasn't quite a like, but it was the same hunger for acknowledgement that drives every scroll today. Even Facebook, when it launched in 2004, didn't have a like button at first. Popularity was measured by friend requests, wall posts, and photo comments. The social value of a post depended on how many people interacted with it, on unspoken race for engagement. In 2009, Facebook introduced the like button, and the internet's relationship with validation changed forever. That single gesture, simple, fast, emotional, flattened complex expressions of approval into one universal signal. It was the dopamine switch that reprogrammed online behavior. But before that moment, digital popularity had been diverse, creative, and deeply human. It wasn't just a click it. Was ever. People wrote comments, curated links, and built communities by hand. Validation came from interaction, not automation. Each form of online acknowledgement, from guestbook signatures to message replies, carried a trace of authenticity that likes have since diluted. Today, social media metrics are instantaneous and global. We chase numbers that rise and fall with algorithms. But back then, popularity was slower. It required participation, not performance. To be seen online meant someone took time to engage, not just a tap. And perhaps that is the nostalgia buried in early internet culture, the sense that popularity wasn't just something you received. It was something you earned, through words, creativity, and contribution. The pre-like era may seem primitive, but it was a time when validation still felt human. So the next time your finger hovers over a like button, remember, there was once a time when being popular online meant something different. No hearts, no emotion, just the genuine connection of one person taking the time to read, respond, and care. Before Lexi, the internet wasn't quieter. It was more alive, more thoughtful, and perhaps more real.